Hello friends, welcome to a new watercolor tutorial, and I am VanidasMangathil. In this tutorial we will be learning how to suggestively paint bushes and grasses. If you are new to my channel and if you haven't subscribed to it, please do subscribe and press the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I release new video. Without further ado, let us begin the tutorial. Hi, good morning. In this tutorial we will be discussing about how to sort of suggest grasses and bushes in a suggestive way. Okay, it is not a very realistic representation of grasses and bushes. In a very suggestive way, how we can paint grasses and bushes. Okay, to begin with, let us take an example of a small piece of land, small piece of say field. Okay, so let us take a small piece of field and let this be the land. Okay, let this be the land, and we are suggesting a small piece of field. Say for example, there is a piece of field. Maybe there are many sort of many fields here. Okay, very simplified fields. Okay, it does not realistically represent a field, but let us take this piece of field and let us take this piece of field. Okay, and this is a field. Probably it doesn't have too much of grass. It is a kind of a blank field, and let us continue our discussion from this point onwards. Okay, now if it is a blank field, maybe it would look like maybe I'll use a property to describe this. Maybe it will look like this. Okay, okay, blank. I mean, this is kind of a field in perspective. Okay, I have taken a small piece of sponge to represent this. Now when we get, if it is blank, the surface will be very flat. Okay, but when it comes out, when some grasses are there in the field, what you will usually find is that there are a lot of what you call it as uneven kind of patches of shadows and highlights in this, because when the grasses are seen on the field, you don't find it very flat, because the edge of the grasses are little uneven, and you will find a lot of space for shadows and a lot of highlights. Some of the grasses may be slightly longer, some of the grasses may be slightly shorter, so you will find all these kind of unevenness. Okay, something like this. But what happens if the grass grows a little longer? Okay, so what happens is that you will start finding a kind of a shadow area, something like this. Okay, so what you find is, you will find shadow area like this, you will find shadow areas like this, and there will be a lot of unevenness here, because of it is something like a box. In a very simplified way, this a field with grass grown will look like a kind of a box. Okay, something like this. And you will see little bit of the top plane, and you will find little bit of a side plane. The side plane will have shadows because the sunlight is hitting here at the top, and you will not find as much light here, so you will find shadows. And here also you will find lot of vertical streaks of uneven darkness. The tonal value is not very uniform here. There are a lot of kind of darkness here. So what we are trying to do in our tutorial is, somehow we are trying to represent this kind of things, and I think it will kind of represent a thick bunch of grasses in a flat piece of land. So that is what we are going to do, and I think it is easy at this point. Please remember that we are not painting realistic grass, hyper realistic or photorealistic grasses, because I don't enjoy that. It takes a lot of time. It needs careful handling of these the grasses. so which I don't like, and I don't do, or I don't paint also. Okay, and for loose representation of landscapes, I think this kind of simplified representation is enough, simplified approach. So how we can do that is, let us make a small piece of land on this piece of small piece of paper. So here I have used the handmade watercolor paper, and this is an Indian brand of watercolor paper called Chitrapat, and you can use any watercolor paper here. Let us make a light wash, right? Let us make a light wash, and I am using little bit of what you call it as lemon yellow, and little bit of a sap green, maybe a touch of orange for this, little watery mix, and let us go with this approach. Okay, this may be representing a field of grass, and now what we need is we need little bit of what you call the shadow area here. Okay, so for the shadow area we need maybe a little darker color. So I am using slight bit of maybe I'll use olive green. Okay, I'll use little olive green, and while this is still wet, I am sort of suggesting it. Okay, so you could use somewhere you could use some thick washes, and somewhere I am using little bit of a lines. Okay, and it is not very uniform. Okay, this is a piece of bunch of grass, and I am leaving some sort of white here, some lighter color here, because there could be some sort of gaps. Okay, there could be another bunch of grass, beginning from here. So I'm just leaving it like this. There must be, this is one bunch of grass, maybe another bunch of grass is starting here. So I'm just making it like this. And as I was mentioning, this flat area, okay, this flat area also had a lot of patches, okay, a lot of patches of darkness in between. So maybe we can suggest such darknesses here, maybe slightly with lighter color, maybe a little bit of orange and olive green I am taking, and maybe some bunches of darkness in between. Okay, you could splash also sometimes these colors, and you can probably smudge and even lighter tones at some point. Perspective here also, far away, smaller ones. Maybe something like this, and you could also make some dark lines here. I'm using little bit of a thicker color now, and at some points I'm making it darker. Just some suggestion. Some of these grasses may be coming up. Okay. Some darkness. Thick color. I'm making it shadows. Okay, so I have made it little darker because I don't want to make another bunch and create confusion. See, we have to somehow create some bunch of grass with tonal variation, some sort of tonal variation, and some more bit of unevenness. Okay, it should look like some sort of bushy kind of a thing. Okay, some of these we will make it little larger, and we might add some protruding long grasses, etc. And we can also add little bit of what you call it as little bit of white shades. Okay, little bit of white color I'm taking. Okay, I'm taking little bit of white color and maybe adding that to this green to make some sort of opaque green color. Okay, little bit of opaque green color, and maybe I'll add those opaque green to this kind of some kind of highlight within this. Okay. Some kind of a bushy feel. Okay. To make it little engaging. Okay, right, now I think we can add little bit of longer bushes, maybe using some thick color, thick dark color. So we can create forms like this. Okay, these are just some suggestion, and you can also give some sort of splashing of water. Okay, see, we want to create some amount of suggestion that this area is little bit of busy. And if you want, maybe we can create some faraway, maybe some faraway objects here, maybe. If you like this video and if you're finding it informative, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. You may also consider sharing it to your artist friend who may also find it useful. I think you got the overall idea. And once it is dry, maybe we can add some more details. Okay. Maybe I will create some sort of I'll create some sky also. This looks very greenish, so I'm lifting it. I'm wetting the sky area with some clean water, and let us make some sky. Just suggesting, okay. I don't want to do too much of things here because there are some tips of the bushes here, so I don't want to disturb that. And let it dry, and maybe we will make some sort of big trees, and we will make it little more interesting. It is dry now. Now let us make some sort of what you call it as some more bushes, or see, adding something to create some interest. Okay, so where should I make some additional interest? Maybe some sort of a tree here, maybe something like this here. Maybe some bigger trees. Okay, some bigger trees here. We have discussed about this approach earlier, so you don't have to worry about this. darker tones here. Maybe some shadows for this. I think it looks a little smaller to me. Some splashes of colors, okay. Some splashes of colors, and I'm protecting this area. I think this much is sufficient for a suggestive bush and grasses, etc. Okay, it is, as I was telling you, this will not be precise. It is just a suggestive approach. Okay, this approach clarifies the way I see it. Okay, and you can probably practice this kind of approaches, and you should be pretty much confident now with getting some of the suggestion of this bushes. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this. Please do practice and gain confidence. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you are having any questions or comments or queries, please do write them into the comment box below. I will be more than happy to get back with my answers. Once more, if you find it useful and if you are finding my channel contents informative, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. You may also please share it to your artist friends who can also benefit from these tutorials. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.